Hello my lords, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Nick Saraf's FoodLog. As we were traveling east, we have decided to travel to the farthest and eastest place in Europe, Russia. In Soviet Russia, you don't make breakfast. Breakfast makes you. So today we're going to be making two popular Russian breakfast recipes, aladi and syrniki, along with some nice red currant jam. We're going to start first with the red currant jam. On a high flame, we put a saucepan of red currants and a lot of sugar. So red currants are quite sour in their taste, so we have added quite a good amount of sugar in there. And we will also be adding 1/3 the amount of water as the sugar. Now before this boils, we take this off and we mash the red currants. So unlike most of the jams that we've done, red currant seeds are not very nice to taste. So it's best strained. So we're going to pass it through a strainer and mash it a bit more in there. Put the pan back on high heat and pour the mixture that you've just strained. And now we put in the sugar thermometer and wait till it reaches 105 degrees. And it's done. And now we transfer it back into our glass container and let it cool down and become a little firm and thread consistency. There we are. We get a single thread between our fingers. That means jam's perfect. So aladi are pancakes made with a Russian ingredient called kefir, which is a bit like milk. It's made by inoculating cow, goat or sheep milk with kefir grains, and it originated in the North Caucasus Mountains. Since we are far, far, far away from the North Caucasus Mountains, we're using its best substitute, buttermilk. But we're going to be making our own buttermilk today. So this is about a cup of yogurt, in which I'm going to add a cup of water. And with the churner, let's churn away to glory. Now to this buttermilk we add 2 eggs. Now we add sugar to your discretion. Now for 2 cups of buttermilk, I have added about 4 tablespoons of sugar. This ought to make it sweet, but not overtly sweet. Mix it all together. And now we add 1 cup of flour in it, and a teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of baking soda. So unlike most of the pancakes that we've cooked in butter, these pancakes are going to be cooked in oil. We put it on a medium flame and generously spread oil everywhere. And unlike most pancakes where we've poured a heaping good amount of batter, Russian pancakes are as big as medallions. So we don't pour more than a tablespoon of batter at a time. There we go. That's about it. That is the size of all the pancakes we're going to make. Now, take them off on an absorbent cloth. So now it's time to make syrniki. Syrniki is actually a cheese patty that's been shallow fried on a pan. And for this we have 500 grams of cottage cheese that I have grated. In this I'm going to put 2 eggs, sugar. Now I've put in about 4 tablespoons, and now we mix it. Now we add a teaspoon of vanilla essence and mix again. To this I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons and maybe half a tablespoon more of flour. We have to be very careful not to add too much flour to this or it ends up being really starchy and that's not very nice to taste. And a teaspoon of salt. Now we take a bit of this sticky dough, roll it into a sphere, roll it into some flour, and then tap it slightly to make a patty. These are extremely delicate. On medium heat, generous amounts of oil. Place the patty and cook it till it browns on one side. And they're done. So there you have it, a Russian breakfast, aladi and syrniki. I love saying it, syrniki. With some red currant jam. So, приятного аппетита!